Imagine you're playing this incredibly complex board game. You've spent years mastering the strategy, you're playing perfectly, and then suddenly, the rules just change entirely to guarantee that you lose.
Oh man, that is rough.
Right. If the rules change to ensure a loss, how do you keep playing? Well, welcome to the deep dive. Today's mission for you is exploring the ultimate rigged game, which is a progressive, incurable medical diagnosis.
And specifically, how one would manage to reclaim her mental sovereignty when her body just gave out.
Exactly. We are pulling from this really powerful May 2026 newsletter by psychotherapist Dr. S.P. Chan, and the subject is Dr. Yu Lee YC.
Yeah, she's a senior educator who was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, well, over 30 years ago, and the timing of it was just brutal.
She was right in the middle of something big, right?
Yeah, she was conducting her doctoral research, work that actually drew praise from the International Reading Association.
Wow. I mean, having your prime intellectual years interrupted by a physical breakdown is devastating, especially with Parkinson's.
Right, because it's a central nervous system disorder.
Exactly. The disease essentially severs the communication lines between your brain's command center and your muscles. And the World Health Organization is actually tracking this rapid rise in global disability and death rates from it.
It's scary. And since a physical cure doesn't exist yet, managing the psychological fallout is honestly just as critical as treating the physical symptoms.
Well, that psychological management gets put to the ultimate test when the medication stops masking the reality.
Oh, absolutely. Dr. Yu hit this terrifying point where the drugs just failed.
What happened?
The resulting muscle spasms were so severe that they literally bent her neck. She dealt with visual impairment, frequent falls, and just the loss of basic daily rights.
Like what?
Like the ability to read or just eat independently.
I mean, it makes complete sense. When your independence is literally stripped away, that persistent sense of loss naturally triggers severe depression and anxiety.
Definitely. And the newsletter describes her reaction with this incredibly heavy, visceral word. They called it indignation.
Yeah, indignation. And the newsletter points to the acceptance and commitment as her lifeline here. But I have to push back on this a little bit.
Oh, how come?
Well, when dealing with a brutal disease, doesn't acceptance sound suspiciously like, throwing in the towel and just let the illness win?
I mean, a lot of people hear the word and immediately think of surrender. But if we stick to your board game analogy from earlier, acceptance isn't flipping the board in anger or just walking away from the table.
Okay, so what does it look like in practice?
It is simply looking at the new restricted pieces you have left and figuring out your next move. Because fighting against unchangeable physical limits is a useless gambling match. It just burns through massive amounts of cognitive energy.
I see. So by accepting her physical reality, Dr. Yu stopped that internal war and freed up the mental space she desperately needed.
Exactly. She essentially reallocated her cognitive budget. Instead of spending all her mental currency on being angry at the new rules, she invested it in the moves she could still make.
And that's the commitment half of ACT, right?
Spot on. You accept the unchangeable, and then you commit to actions that align with your core values and keep you grounded in the present.
Even with her physical limitations, she committed to this strict schedule of singing, dancing, and Bible study.
Yeah, she practiced being aggressively in the here and now, like consciously watching the sunset by the sea with her husband and using those present moments to block out the fear of the future.
But maintaining that kind of mental discipline requires serious infrastructure. I mean, a psychological shift alone won't hold up against physical agony without some external framework to support it.
You absolutely need that holistic support system. Dr. Yu leaned really heavily into her spirituality, focusing on prayer and thanksgiving.
Right.
And there is a concrete biological mechanism at work there, too. By engaging deeply in gratitude, she actively engaged her parasympathetic nervous system.
Oh, wow. So that shifts the brain out of a constant fight-or-flight threat response.
Precisely, which naturally suppresses the production of cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone.
Getting the body chemistry on your side is such a massive advantage. And she also built out this amazing social network that went way beyond just doctors.
Yeah, she had regular visits from church sisters and even former students she taught decades ago.
Having those former students return actually boosted her self-efficacy, didn't it?
Yeah, that psychological belief in your own ability to exert control over your environment and still have a meaningful impact.
So she essentially built a psychological shock absorber out of community and routine.
The shock absorber analogy is perfect. And Dr. Chan distills Dr. Yu's approach into 3 actionable tips for you, whether you are facing a severe illness or just dealing with unpredictable curveballs in life.
What are the 3 tips?
First, establish a routine of controllable small goals, even if it is just daily stretching.
Okay, small routines.
Second, seek help. Like, actually let the people who love you enter your pain. And third, deliberately cultivate gratitude to locate the tiny glimmers of light.
Those are fantastic. And the newsletter leaves us with a brilliant mandate from Dr. Chan to live well in every second.
So true.
But here is a provocative thought to leave you with today. If this kind of radical acceptance is the ultimate key to reclaiming mental sovereignty during a devastating, incurable illness,
Right.
well, how much of your own daily anxiety comes from a stubborn refusal to accept the minor, unchangeable realities of your everyday life?
Oof. That raises a critical question about where we actually choose to spend our limited energy.
Sometimes the only way to win a rigged board game is to stop fighting the new rules and just decide how you want to play your next turn.